What if I told you there's a country where you can get fined for doing laundry on Sunday? Where people separate their trash into 7 different categories like it's a science experiment. And where crossing the street on a red light with no cars in sight is considered a criminal act. Welcome to Germany, Europe's economic powerhouse, where efficiency meets absolute madness in the most fascinating ways possible. Here is the challenge that has been keeping me up at night. Can you actually survive in Germany on just $600 a month? That's roughly 560 euros, which sounds impossible when you consider that a single person needs at least $1,040 according to recent data. But hold on before you close this video, because what we are about to uncover will completely change how you think about budget living in one of the world's most expensive regions. Germany isn't just another European destination. This is a country that gave us the concept of schadenfreude, taking pleasure in other people's misfortune, yet somehow created one of the most socially conscious societies on earth. It is where you'll find the most environmentally obsessed people who also happen to love their cars so much they build highways with no speed limits. The contradictions are endless, and they're exactly what makes this place so intriguing. But here's what really caught my attention. While everyone talks about Germany's high costs, there are whispers in expat communities about people actually making it work on shoestring budgets. Students surviving on 850 euros a month, digital nomads finding loopholes, and locals who've mastered the art of German frugality in ways that would make your grandmother proud. The question isn't just whether you can survive on $600, it is whether you can actually live a decent life while navigating a culture that treats punctuality like a religion, where being 5 minutes late is basically social suicide, and where small talk is considered suspicious behavior. We're talking about a society where you need to register your address, with the government within 2 weeks of moving, where you can't just walk into a store and buy a coffee. You need the exact change, the right attitude, and preferably fluent German. What makes this challenge even more interesting is Germany's recent transformation. This isn't the Germany of 10 years ago. New immigration laws came into effect in 2024, making it easier for skilled workers to move here. There's a €49 monthly ticket that gets you unlimited public transport across the entire country. The job market is desperate for workers, with some cities literally begging people to move there. But beneath all these opportunities lies the German bureaucracy, a labyrinthine system that can break even the most patient soul. We're talking about a country where you need an appointment to make an appointment, where every document needs to be certified in triplicate, and where digital often means filling out a PDF form and printing it. So how do you crack the code? How do you find affordable housing in cities where students camp outside apartment viewings? How do you navigate the social scene where friendship takes years to develop but lasts forever? Once it does, how do you budget for a lifestyle where a beer costs less than water, but internet installation takes 3 months? We're about to break down every single expense, every cultural quirk, and every survival strategy that can make $600 stretch further than you ever imagined. From the hidden costs nobody warns you about to the surprising ways Germans actually save money. This isn't just about surviving, it is about understanding why millions of people choose to call Germany home despite all its wonderful weirdness. To understand how to live cheaply in Germany, you first need to understand that Germany is actually 16 different countries pretending to be one. Each region has its own personality, costs, and cultural quirks that can make or break your budget. This isn't just about North versus South. We're talking about completely different worlds, separated by a few hours on a train. Start in Bavaria, and you'll think Germans are all lederhosen wearing beer enthusiasts who live in fairy tale castles. Munich, the regional capital, will drain your $600 budget in about 5 days. A basic apartment here costs more than most people's entire monthly income elsewhere. But here is the twist: Bavaria also has some of the highest salaries in Germany, and small towns where rent costs half of what you'd pay in Berlin. Head north to Berlin, and suddenly you're in hipster central, where being broke is almost fashionable. This is where your $600 budget starts making sense. East Berlin still has neighborhoods where you can find rooms for 300 to 400 euros, though gentrification is eating up these deals faster than Germans consume bread. The city's history as a divided capital means you can literally walk from trendy West Berlin coffee shops costing €5 to East Berlin cafes where the same coffee costs 2 euros. Hamburg brings its own flavor, Germany's gateway to the world. With a port that's been trading for over 800 years, it's got that maritime swagger mixed with northern German directness. Housing costs sit somewhere between Berlin chaos and Munich madness. But the city's wealth means opportunities for side gigs and part-time work that can supplement your budget significantly. The former East German regions, Saxony, Thuringia, Mecklenburg, are budget traveler paradise. Dresden offers architecture that rivals Paris at prices that make your wallet happy. A decent apartment in Leipzig might cost what you'd pay for a showbox in Frankfurt. But there's a catch. Job opportunities can be limited, and the cultural adjustment for internationals can be more challenging in smaller cities. What most people don't realize is how Germany's history shaped these cost differences. The country was literally split in half until 1990. That's recent enough that many locals remember life on either side of the Berlin Wall. East Germany spent decades under communist rule, creating a different economic foundation that still influences pricing today. West Germany became an economic miracle, building the high-cost, high-wage society that intimidates budget travelers. This historical divide created fascinating opportunities for the budget-conscious. Cities like Rostock or Erfurt offer authentic German experiences without the tourist markup. You can rent entire apartments in some eastern cities for what a single room costs in western metropolises. The infrastructure is excellent everywhere. Germany invested heavily in modernizing the East after reunification. But history also created cultural differences that affect your daily costs. Northern Germans are famously direct and efficient. Transactions are quick, no nonsense, and often cheaper because there's less emphasis on elaborate service. Southern Germans, influenced by Austrian and Swiss neighbors, prefer more formal interactions that can drive up service costs, but also create opportunities for tips and relationship building that can lead to discounts. The regional dialects alone can impact your budget. Standard German gets you by everywhere, but learning a few words of Bavarian, Swabian, or Low German can unlock local prices instead of tourist rates. Germans appreciate when foreigners attempt their regional expressions, and this good will often translate to better deals on everything from market produce to apartment rentals. Understanding these regional differences isn't just cultural curiosity, it's budget strategy. A freelancer might thrive in Berlin's startup scene. A student could live like royalty in Eastern university towns. And someone seeking traditional German culture might find both authenticity and affordability in smaller Bavarian or Rhineland communities. The key insight here is that Germany's diversity works in favor of budget travelers, willing to think beyond the obvious destinations. While everyone fights for overpriced apartments in Munich or Hamburg, entire regions offer the same quality of life at dramatically lower costs. If you want to survive in Germany on a budget, understanding the rules isn't optional. It's financial survival. Germans have turned rule following into an art form, and breaking these rules can quickly eat through your entire monthly budget in fines. But here's the fascinating part. Once you understand the system, these same rules can actually help you save money. Let's start with the Sunday situation, because this will either save you money or drive you completely insane. Sundays in Germany are sacred, not in a religious way, but in a you cannot make noise way. The law literally prohibits loud activities between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. on weekdays, all day Sunday, and during midday quiet hours. This means no vacuuming, no drilling, no loud music, and definitely no washing your car in your driveway. For budget travelers, this is actually brilliant. Sunday becomes forced relaxation day. You can't shop, everything's closed. You can't do home improvement projects. And you can't engage in expensive activities. Germans have mastered the art of Sunday walks, free museum days, and socializing over coffee at home. Your entertainment budget automatically gets controlled one day per week. The recycling obsession is where things get both crazy and profitable. Germans separate trash into categories that would confuse a scientist. Paper, cardboard, glass sorted by color, plastic packaging, organic waste, general waste, and special items like batteries or electronics. Mess this up in your apartment building, and you might face fines from both the building management and the city. But here's the money-saving secret. This system is incredibly efficient and cheap. Waste management costs are shared across the community, making your monthly utilities lower than in countries with simpler systems. Plus, proper recycling means you can return bottles and cans for cash refunds, not pennies, but actual euros that add up quickly. The punctuality obsession works in your favor once you adapt. Germans don't just arrive on time, they arrive early. Being 5 minutes late is genuinely considered rude, and being 15 minutes late might end friendships. This sounds stressful, but it's actually a budget blessing. Social events start and end predictably, helping you plan transportation and avoid expensive last-minute taxi rides. German social culture has unwritten rules that can save or cost you money. Direct communication isn't considered rude, it's efficient. Germans will tell you exactly what they think, which eliminates expensive misunderstandings. When someone says, "Let's go Dutch," they mean it. Literally, splitting bills equally is standard, which helps with budget predictability. The bureaucracy deserves its own category of strange rules. You need to register your address and mail them within 2 weeks of moving anywhere in Germany. This isn't just a suggestion. It's required by law, and skipping it creates expensive complications later. You can't open bank accounts, get insurance, or even buy a monthly transport pass without this registration. Here's where it gets interesting. This same bureaucracy creates opportunities. Once you're properly registered, you gain access to resident pricing on everything from gym memberships to cultural events. Tourist prices versus resident prices can differ by 50% or more. The cash culture in Germany is both frustrating and budget-friendly. Many places still don't accept cards, especially smaller businesses, markets, and some restaurants. This forces you to budget in cash, which is actually excellent for spending control. When you physically see money leaving your wallet, you're more conscious of every purchase. Germans have perfected the art of Gemütlichkeit, a concept combining coziness, warmth, and belonging that doesn't translate well but saves money beautifully. Social activities center around homes, local pubs, and community spaces rather than expensive entertainment venues. A typical German evening might involve sitting in someone's kitchen, talking for hours over a single beer or coffee. The apartment viewing culture is particularly intense. Germans treat apartment hunting like job interviews. You need a folder with financial documents, references, and sometimes even a written application explaining why you deserve the apartment. This sounds crazy, but it creates a stable rental market with long-term tenancies and predictable costs. Personal space rules are strict but cost-effective. Germans maintain physical distance in social situations, don't make small talk with strangers, and respect privacy obsessively. This creates a society where you are not expected to participate in expensive social obligations or keep up appearances through consumption. Understanding these cultural rules isn't just about fitting in. It is about accessing the German lifestyle that prioritizes quality over quantity, efficiency over excess, and community over individual spending. Once you crack this code, living on $600 becomes less about surviving and more about adopting a fundamentally different approach to daily life. German food culture is where your $600 budget can either disappear in a week or stretch for months, depending on how well you understand what Germans actually eat versus what tourists think they eat. The stereotypical image of Germans consuming nothing but sausages and sauerkraut is about as accurate as assuming all Americans eat hamburgers for breakfast. Let's talk bread first, because Germans take their bread more seriously than most countries take their national anthems. There are over 300 officially recognized types of German bread, and a proper German bakery might stock 20 to 30 varieties daily. Here's the budget magic: good German bread is incredibly filling, nutritious, and cheap. A dense, whole-grain German loaf costs 2 to 3 euros and can serve as the foundation for multiple meals. Germans often eat bread-based meals twice a day, a substantial breakfast and a lighter evening. Abendbrot, that is literally just evening bread. The morning bread culture saves serious money. instead of expensive cafe breakfasts. Germans top quality bread with everything from simple butter to elaborate combinations of cheese, cold cuts, vegetables, and spreads. A week's worth of breakfast ingredients costs less than to cafe meals, and the nutritional value is substantially higher. Grocery shopping in Germany requires strategy, but offers incredible value. Discount supermarkets like Aldi and Lidl started here and perfected the art of high quality, low-cost basics. These stores stock everything you need for 30 to 50% less than regular supermarkets. But you need to understand the system. Bring a coin for the shopping cart, bag your own groceries, and don't expect extensive customer service. Here's where German efficiency becomes budget gold. The country's food regulations are extremely strict, meaning even the cheapest products maintain high-quality standards. Lidl's basic pasta is genuinely good pasta, not cardboard masquerading as food. Their produce comes from the same suppliers as expensive stores but with minimal markup. The beer culture is where things get fascinating and budget-friendly. Germans consume the second highest amount of beer per capita in the world, which created incredibly competitive pricing. A half-liter of quality German beer costs less in a supermarket than a bottle of water in many countries, even in restaurants. Beer is often cheaper than soft drinks because of local production and cultural priorities. But here is the real secret. German beer culture isn't about getting drunk. It is about socializing efficiently. Beer gardens operate on communal table systems where you're expected to share space with strangers, creating instant social networks without expensive entertainment costs. Bring your own food to most beer gardens, buy drinks from the establishment, and you have a complete social experience for under 10 euros. The coffee culture offers different budget dynamics. Germans drink substantial amounts of coffee, but they don't have the elaborate cafe culture of Italy or France. Coffee is typically consumed at home or work rather than in expensive cafes. A decent coffee machine and quality German coffee beans will serve hundreds of cups for the cost of a few cafe visits. However, the afternoon cafe and cooking tradition creates wonderful social opportunities. Germans gather for coffee and cake around 3 p.m., usually in homes rather than expensive cafes. Being invited to someone else's cafe and cooking is both a social honor and a budget blessing. Elaborate homemade cakes and quality coffee in a social setting that costs nothing but brings genuine cultural immersion. Cooking at home in Germany offers exceptional value because ingredient quality is consistently high due to strict food regulations. German supermarkets stock ingredients from across Europe at competitive prices. Fresh produce from Spain, Italian pasta, French cheese, and German meats are all available at reasonable costs. The seasonal eating culture helps budget significantly. Germans shop seasonally and preserve foods traditionally, not from poverty, but from cultural preference for quality and sustainability. Learning to eat like locals means asparagus in spring, berries in summer, root vegetables in autumn, and preserved foods in winter. This seasonal approach dramatically reduces food costs while improving nutrition and flavor. Street food culture has evolved dramatically, especially in cities. Turkish diner kebab has become essentially German cuisine, high quality, filling meals for 4 to 6 euros. Vietnamese, Middle Eastern, and Italian quick-service restaurants offer substantial meals at budget-friendly prices, often with larger portions than traditional German restaurants. Restaurant culture requires understanding German value systems. Germans prefer fewer, higher-quality meals over frequent dining out. When they do eat out, they expect substantial portions, excellent ingredients, and reasonable prices. This creates a restaurant market focused on value rather than atmosphere, which benefits budget diners significantly. The key to German food budgeting is restriction. It is understanding that German culture prioritizes quality ingredients prepared simply over expensive dining experiences. Master the bread culture, embrace seasonal shopping, and participate in social eating traditions. And your food costs become manageable while your cultural integration accelerates dramatically. German dating and social culture operates on principles that can either save your budget or confuse you into expensive mistakes. If you're expecting Mediterranean warmth or American casual friendliness, Prepare for a cultural adjustment that affects everything from your social spending to your romantic life. German women are refreshingly direct in ways that eliminate expensive dating. Confusion. There's no elaborate guessing game about intentions, no expensive pursuit rituals, and definitely no expectation that men automatically pay for everything. German dating culture embraces true equality. Women often insist on splitting bills, suggest activities within their own budgets, and approach relationships as partnerships rather than transactions. This directness extends to social interactions generally. German women, like German men, value honesty over politeness, which creates social dynamics focused on genuine connection rather than expensive impression. Management. A typical first date might be a walk in a park, coffee at someone's home, or meeting at a local pub, activities chosen for conversation potential, rather than financial impact. The friendship culture in Germany requires patience, but offers incredible budget benefits once you crack it. Germans distinguish clearly between acquaintances and friends, and that transition takes time, sometimes years. But once you're accepted into someone's social circle, you gain access to a support network that includes everything from apartment leads to job opportunities to shared resources that can dramatically reduce living costs. German social circles operate on reciprocity principles that work beautifully for budget living. If someone cooks dinner for the group, others contribute ingredients or handle cleanup. If someone has a car, others cover gas costs. If someone has particular skills, they're shared freely within the group. This creates social networks that function almost like extended families for practical support. The party culture reflects German efficiency and budget consciousness. House parties are elaborate affairs with planned activities, excellent food, and quality drinks, but costs are shared among attendees according to their means. Germans plan social events carefully, ensuring everyone can participate regardless of budget constraints. Dating apps function differently in Germany, with cultural expectations that can save money if understood properly. Germans use apps for serious connections rather than casual entertainment, which means fewer expensive dates that lead nowhere. When Germans match with someone, they typically meet quickly and inexpensively, coffee, walks, or simple meals rather than elaborate entertainment. The relationship progression follows patterns that benefit budget-conscious individuals. Germans often start as friends within social groups before romantic relationships develop. This means you're building social connections and potential romantic connections simultaneously, rather than spending money on separate dating and friendship activities. German women generally have strong career expectations and financial independence, creating dating dynamics where both people contribute equally to relationship costs. This eliminates pressure to spend beyond your means to impress someone or maintain relationship standards you can't afford. Social activities in Germany center around homes, local communities, and outdoor activities rather than expensive entertainment venues. A typical social evening might involve cooking together, board games, conversations over drinks at home, or group activities like hiking or cycling that cost nothing but provide excellent social bonding. The club and nightlife scene varies dramatically by city and region. Berlin's legendary nightlife can be surprisingly affordable. If you understand the culture, many clubs charge reasonable entry fees but expect you to stay for hours, dancing and socializing rather than constantly buying expensive drinks. The value comes from the experience rather than consumption. German social etiquette includes unwritten rules that affect your social spending. Being invited to someone's home is significant and requires bringing a small gift, usually wine, flowers, or something from your home country. These gifts don't need to be expensive, but they should be thoughtful and quality-focused. The expat community in Germany creates additional social opportunities that can help stretch budgets. International meetups, language exchange events, and cultural groups provide social connections while helping with practical needs like finding apartments, understanding bureaucracy, or sharing resources. Regional differences in social culture affect budget considerations significantly. Northern Germans tend to be more reserved but also more direct about money matters, making it easier to find budget-friendly social activities. Southern Germans might be more warm, and social, but also more traditional about gender roles and social expectations. The key insight for budget social life in Germany is understanding that Germans value authenticity over performance, quality over quantity, and genuine connection over social competition. Once you adapt to these values, your social life becomes both more meaningful and more affordable. Success in German social and dating culture requires patience, honesty, and respect for the cultural preference for deep, long-term connections over casual interactions. This approach ultimately creates social networks that support rather than drain your budget while providing genuine cultural integration and meaningful relationships. German festivals and celebrations offer some of the best entertainment value in Europe, but only if you understand how locals actually participate versus how tourists get gouged. The country hosts over 10,000 festivals annually, from world-famous Oktoberfest to tiny village celebrations that most foreigners never hear about, but offer authentic experiences at a fraction of tourist prices. Oktoberfest represents everything wonderful and terrible about German festival culture. From a budget perspective, the famous Munich event attracts millions of tourists paying premium prices for everything. Single beer can cost 12 to 15 euros, food prices are inflated, and accommodation becomes impossibly expensive. But here's what most people don't know: every German region has its own beer festivals, often larger and always cheaper than the Munich tourist version. The real Oktoberfest strategy is attending regional celebrations. Cities like Hanover, Stuttgart, or even smaller Bavarian towns host authentic beer festivals where locals pay local prices. A half-liter beer costs 4 to 6 euros instead of 15. Food is reasonably priced, and you experience genuine German celebration culture rather than international tourist theater. Christmas markets demonstrate German festival economics perfectly. Major cities like Cologne, Munich, or Berlin charge tourist prices for everything from mulled wine to handcrafts. But Germany has over 2,500 Christmas markets, and the smaller ones offer identical experiences at dramatically lower costs. A cup of glowwine, mulled wine, might cost 7 euros in central Munich, but 3 euros in a neighborhood market offering the same quality and atmosphere. The Christmas market culture also offers budget strategies most tourists miss. Germans buy ceramic mugs for their glowwine, which serve as both souvenirs and practical items. You can get refills at reduced prices and take home authentic German pottery. Understanding this system turns expensive tourist purchases into practical investments. Carnival season, particularly in the Rhineland regions around Cologne and Dusseldorf, offers incredible entertainment value. This isn't just a single celebration, but weeks of parties, parades, and cultural events where participation costs almost nothing. Germans prepare costumes months in advance, share resources within communities, and create elaborate celebrations through collective effort, rather than individual spending. The regional nature of German celebrations means you can experience authentic culture while living on a budget. Midday celebrations combine political rallies with folk festivals. Harvest festivals in wine regions offer tastings, food, and entertainment at local prices. Local Stadtfest city festivals provide multiple days of music, food, and activities for minimal costs. Festival food culture offers budget opportunities if you understand the system. Many German festivals allow you to bring your own food and drinks to certain areas, purchasing only from official vendors in designated zones. Learning these rules can reduce festival costs by 70% while still participating fully in celebrations. The tradition of festival volunteering creates opportunities for budget travelers. Many German festivals rely on volunteer help for setup, operations, and cleanup. Volunteers often receive free admission, meals, and sometimes accommodation in exchange for work. This provides insider access to festivals while building social connections and German language skills. Seasonal celebrations follow patterns that help budget planning. Spring festivals celebrate awakening nature with outdoor activities and fresh foods. Summer brings beer gardens, outdoor concerts, and street festivals that operate on community participation models. Autumn features harvest celebrations, wine festivals, and cultural events. Winter combines Christmas markets with indoor cultural activities. The concept of Vereinskultur club culture underlies many German celebrations. Local clubs organize festivals, from shooting competitions to folk dancing to music festivals. Joining these clubs costs minimal membership fees but provides access to year-round activities, social networks, and festival participation at insider prices. German festivals emphasize community participation over consumption, which aligns perfectly with budget living. Traditional festivals include activities like folk dancing, singing, games, and competitions that require participation rather than spending. Understanding this cultural preference helps you enjoy festivals authentically while spending minimally, religious and cultural. Traditions create festivals throughout the year that welcome international participation. Easter celebrations, Whitsun festivals, and various saint days combine spiritual traditions with community celebrations. These events often include free meals, entertainment, and cultural exchange opportunities. The key to enjoying German festival culture on a budget is thinking like a local. Rather than a tourist, Germans plan festival attendance seasonally, participate in organization and preparation, attend multiple smaller events rather than expensive major ones, and focus on social participation rather than consumption. This approach provides deeper cultural experiences while maintaining budget discipline. Now for the reality check that determines whether this entire adventure is possible, or just wishful thinking. Can you actually live in Germany on $600 per month? The official answer is no. German statistics show you need at least $1,040 monthly, but the real answer is more complicated and depends entirely on how creatively you can bend the system without breaking the law. Let's break down the harsh mathematics first. Rent alone in major cities consumes your entire budget. Munich averages 800 to 1,200 euros for a basic apartment. Berlin's supposedly affordable housing starts around 600 to 800 euros. Hamburg, Frankfurt, and Cologne follow similar patterns. At first glance, $600 monthly means you're sleeping under bridges, which isn't sustainable or legal. But here's where German housing culture creates opportunities. The concept of Wohngemeinschaft, shared living, or WG, makes survival possible. A room in a shared apartment in Berlin's outer districts can cost 250 to 350 euros monthly, including utilities. Suddenly, your budget has breathing room. The catch is competition. Finding these rooms requires patience, German language skills, and usually personal connections. Student housing offers another pathway. If you can qualify for student status through language courses, university programs, or vocational training, student housing costs 100 to 300 euros monthly. Germany actively encourages international students, and the bureaucratic machinery supports this pathway more than others. The geographical arbitrage strategy can make $600 work surprisingly well. Cities like Leipzig, Dresden, Erfurt, or Magdeburg offer authentic German experiences at dramatically lower costs. A decent apartment in Leipzig might cost 300 to 400 euros, half your budget, instead of double. These cities provide excellent public transport, cultural amenities, and job opportunities while maintaining livable costs. Food budgeting requires embracing German shopping culture completely. Discount supermarkets like Aldi and Lidl can feed you properly for 80 to 100 euros monthly. If you cook primarily at home and eat seasonally, this means bread-based breakfasts, substantial cooked meals, and minimal restaurant dining. Germans excel at this lifestyle, making it culturally normal rather than obviously poverty-driven. The 49 € Deutschland ticket transforms transportation from budget killer to budget enabler. This monthly pass provides unlimited local and regional transport across the entire country. For someone living in a smaller city but working in a larger one, this ticket makes geographical arbitrage possible while maintaining income opportunities. Healthcare costs are mandatory but manageable. Student health insurance costs around 110 euros monthly and provides excellent coverage. For non-students, the cheapest statutory health insurance starts around 160 euros monthly. This seems expensive relative to your budget, but it's comprehensive coverage that eliminates financial surprises from medical expenses. Utilities in shared housing situations typically cost 50 to 80 euros monthly per person, including heating, electricity, water, and often internet. German apartments are well insulated and energy efficient, so utility costs remain predictable year-round. Understanding German efficiency standards helps. Avoid apartments with excessive utility costs. The employment situation creates both challenges and opportunities for budget living. Germany's minimum wage is 12 euros per hour as of 2024, and finding part-time work of 15 to 20 hours weekly can supplement your budget significantly. Student visa holders can work limited hours legally. Tourist visa holders cannot work legally, making this budget impossible without other income sources. Side income opportunities exist within legal frameworks. Freelance work and digital services, language tutoring, or specialized skills can provide budget supplements. Germany has clear regulations about freelance income for residents, making this pathway viable for people with proper visa status. The social support system in Germany can provide emergency assistance for legal residents facing financial difficulties. This isn't something to plan around, but it's a safety net that makes budget living less risky than in countries without social support. Hidden costs can destroy budget planning if ignored. Apartment deposits typically equal 2 to 3 months' rent, paid upfront, registration fees, insurance setup costs, and initial furniture purchases can easily consume 1,000 to 2,000 euros before you even begin monthly budget living. Having backup funds for these initial costs is essential. The seasonal variation in cost affects budget sustainability, winter heating costs, summer travel opportunities, and holiday periods all impact spending patterns. Germans budget annually rather than monthly, smoothing these variations through careful planning. Tax implications affect budget calculations significantly. Working in Germany, even part-time, triggers tax obligations, but also provides access to social benefits and tax deductions that can improve your effective income. Understanding the German tax system is essential for sustainable budget living. The networking effect becomes crucial for budget sustainability. Germans share resources within social circles, ride-sharing, bulk purchasing, apartment leads, job opportunities, and social activities that reduce individual costs. Building these networks takes time but provides ongoing budget benefits. Emergency fund requirements are higher in Germany due to bureaucratic requirements and higher initial costs. Having 2,000 to 3,000 euros available for emergencies, deposits, and unexpected bureaucratic requirements is practically necessary for sustainable budget living. The honest assessment is that $600 monthly is survival-level income in Germany, requiring significant lifestyle adaptation, careful planning, and usually some form of income supplementation. It's possible for students, temporary residents, or people using Germany as a base for remote work, but it's not comfortable long-term living without additional income sources. However, this budget level provides access to German systems, culture, and opportunities that can lead to improved financial situations over time. Many successful expats started with minimal budgets, used German systems to gain skills and connections, and build sustainable careers. The key is viewing $600 as a starting point rather than a permanent situation. German transportation culture will either revolutionize your budget or confuse you into expensive mistakes, depending on how quickly you adapt to systems that prioritize efficiency over convenience. This is a country where trains run on time to the minute, where bicycle infrastructure rivals car infrastructure, and where you can travel from Hamburg to Munich without touching a steering wheel. The 49 Euro Deutschland ticket represents one of Europe's best transportation values, but only if you understand how to maximize its potential. This monthly pass covers all local buses, trams, subways, and regional trains across Germany's entire territory. For budget living, this ticket transforms your housing options by making longer commutes affordable. You could live in affordable Potsdam and work in expensive Berlin, or base yourself in budget-friendly Leipzig while accessing opportunities across Saxony. But here is the catch that surprises many foreigners. This ticket doesn't cover high-speed ice trains or long-distance express services. Those require separate tickets costing 50 to 150 euros per journey. The budget strategy is embracing slower regional trains that take longer, but provide identical destinations at no additional cost. Urban transportation in German cities operates on honor systems that can save or cost money dramatically. Most cities don't have turnstiles or barriers. You buy tickets and validate them yourself. Getting caught without valid tickets results in €60 fines that can destroy weekly budgets. However, this system also means daily, weekly, and monthly passes provide excellent value because enforcement focuses on random checks rather than per-journey control. The bicycle culture offers exceptional budget and lifestyle benefits once you adapt to German cycling infrastructure. Many German cities provide better bicycle infrastructure than car infrastructure. Bicycle registration costs 10 to 20 euros annually, maintenance is minimal, and cycling provides both transportation and exercise. Many Germans use bicycles as primary transportation even in winter, supported by excellent infrastructure and cultural acceptance. Used bicycle markets offer quality options for 50 to 150 euros, and bicycle theft insurance costs only 30 to 50 euros annually. For budget living, a reliable bicycle can replace most local transportation needs while providing health benefits and cultural integration. Germans respect cyclists and provide extensive infrastructure support. Car ownership in Germany involves costs that can consume entire budgets quickly. Vehicle registration, mandatory insurance, periodic inspections, fuel costs, and parking fees create monthly expenses of 300 to 500 euros minimum. However, car-sharing services like Driveno or Car2Go provide occasional vehicle access for specific needs without ownership costs. The autobahn experience represents German transportation culture. Perfectly sophisticated infrastructure with complex rules that reward understanding and punish mistakes. While speed limits don't exist on many sections, fuel costs, tolls for trucks, and vehicle wear make high-speed driving expensive. Budget-conscious Germans often drive efficiently rather than fast. Regional transportation differences affect lifestyle choices significantly. Northern German cities like Hamburg emphasize public transportation and cycling. Southern cities like Munich balance excellent public transport with car culture. Eastern cities often provide the best value for transportation costs due to historical investment in public infrastructure. Walking culture in German cities supports budget lifestyles beautifully. German cities are designed for pedestrians, with excellent sidewalks, pedestrian zones, and mixed-use neighborhoods where daily needs are accessible on foot. Understanding neighborhood layouts can eliminate many transportation costs while improving quality of life. The ride-sharing and taxi situation varies by city, but generally costs more than public transportation. Germans prefer planned transportation over spontaneous taxi use, which supports budget discipline. Understanding public transportation schedules eliminates most needs for expensive last-minute rides. Transportation apps and digital tickets increasingly dominate German systems, but cash and physical tickets remain necessary backups. Some rural areas or older systems don't support digital payments, so maintaining both options prevents expensive complications. The lifestyle implications of German transportation culture extend beyond mere movement. The reliability and comprehensiveness of public transportation enable car-free living. That's both culturally normal and financially beneficial. Many Germans choose public transportation over car ownership purely for convenience and cost. Efficiency. Germany's attractions operate on a fascinating two-tier system, where tourist destinations can cost a fortune while equally impressive alternatives remain surprisingly affordable. Understanding this division is crucial for budget travelers who want authentic German experiences without tourist markup inflation. Berlin epitomizes this dynamic perfectly. Tourist Berlin centers around Brandenburg Gate, Museum Island, and Checkpoint Charlie, sites that can consume daily budgets through admission fees, overpriced food, and tourist trap activities. But local Berlin offers equally compelling experiences at minimal cost. East Side Gallery provides outdoor art experiences for free. Mauerpark's Sunday flea markets combine shopping, street performances, and social experiences without admission charges. The key insight is that Berlin's best attractions often exist in neighborhoods tourists rarely visit. Kreuzberg's multicultural food scene, Friedrichstein's alternative culture, and Prenzlauer Berg's local lifestyle offer authentic Berlin experiences, where residents actually live and socialize. These areas provide better value, genuine cultural immersion, and opportunities to understand contemporary German society. Munich presents different budget challenges and opportunities. The city's wealth drives up prices significantly, but Bavaria's cultural richness extends far beyond Munich proper. Smaller Bavarian towns offer identical architecture, culture, and traditions at dramatically lower costs. Regensburg provides medieval charm without Munich crowds. Bamberg delivers UNESCO heritage sites without tourist pricing. The castle culture throughout Germany demonstrates how to experience fairy tale settings affordably. Neuschwanstein Castle attracts millions paying premium prices for brief interior tours. But Germany contains over 20,000 castles, many offering equivalent experiences with minimal or no admission fees. Castles like Wartburg, Eltz, or dozens of Rhine Valley castles provide equally impressive experiences at fraction of tourists. Castle costs. Hamburg's maritime culture offers unique German experiences combining history, contemporary life, and cultural diversity. The Speicherstadt Warehouse District provides free walking experiences through historical, commercial architecture. The fish market operates as cultural experience rather than tourist attraction, offering genuine local interaction while showcasing Hamburg's trading heritage. Natural beauty in Germany rewards exploration over famous destinations. The Black Forest attracts tourists paying resort prices. But Germany's landscape includes numerous forests, mountains, and lakes offering identical experiences without commercial development. The Harz Mountains, Bavarian Forest, or Sauerland provide hiking, natural beauty, and outdoor experiences at minimal cost. The concept of Wanderwege hiking trails represents German approach to natural recreation. The country maintains over 100,000 kilometers of marked hiking trails, many connecting cities, regions, and natural areas. These trails provide free recreation, cultural experiences, and transportation alternatives while showcasing Germany's commitment to public access to natural spaces. Museum culture in Germany offers excellent value for cultural experiences, but requires strategic approach. Many cities provide day passes covering multiple museums at reduced rates. University towns often offer free or reduced admission for students and residents. Smaller cities frequently maintain excellent museums without major city pricing. The festival and cultural calendar provides year-round entertainment opportunities at local prices. Rather than tourist rates, every German region maintains traditional festivals, seasonal celebrations, and cultural events designed for local participation rather than tourist consumption. These events offer authentic cultural experiences while supporting local communities. Regional diversity means every area of Germany offers distinctive attractions worth extended exploration. The romantic road through Bavaria, the Rhine Valley with its castles and vineyards, the Baltic coast with its seaside culture, and the Ore Mountains with their crafting traditions, all provide unique German experiences at varying price points. Urban green spaces in German cities provide free recreation and social opportunities year-round. Cities like Berlin, Munich, and Hamburg maintain extensive parks, gardens, and public spaces designed for citizen use rather than tourist attraction. These spaces offer exercise, socializing, and cultural experiences without admission fees. The transportation network enables exploration strategies that maximize experiences. While controlling costs, regional trains connect attractive destinations throughout Germany, allowing day trips and exploration without accommodation costs. The Deutschland ticket makes this exploration financially viable for budget travelers. Understanding German attraction culture means recognizing that the best experiences often exist outside official tourist frameworks. Local recommendations, community events, seasonal activities, and neighborhood exploration frequently provide more authentic and affordable German experiences. Then internationally marketed attractions. The budget strategy for German attractions focuses on authentic local experiences, regional exploration outside major tourist centers, and utilizing extensive public resources designed for resident rather than tourist use. Germany's reputation for safety, healthcare, and education excellence creates one of the world's most secure environments for budget living. Though accessing these systems requires understanding bureaucratic requirements that can initially seem overwhelming, safety in Germany operates at levels that surprise visitors from many countries. Violent crime rates remain among the lowest globally. Women can walk alone safely in most areas at any time, and property crime focuses on opportunistic theft rather than serious criminal activity. This safety level has practical budget implications. You don't need expensive security measures. Insurance costs remain reasonable, and lifestyle choices can prioritize convenience over security considerations. The police culture in Germany emphasizes community safety over enforcement, creating environments where budget living doesn't require constant security awareness. German police are generally helpful, professional, and focused on actual problems rather than minor violations. This creates social environments where you can focus on cultural integration and budget management rather than safety concerns. Healthcare represents both Germany's greatest strength and most complex bureaucratic challenge for newcomers. The German healthcare system consistently ranks among the world's best, providing comprehensive coverage that eliminates financial catastrophe from medical emergencies. However, accessing this system requires mandatory insurance that consumes significant budget portions. Student health insurance costs approximately €110 monthly and provides excellent coverage including dental care, mental health services, and prescription medications. For budget living, this represents substantial monthly expense but also eliminates unpredictable medical costs that could destroy financial planning. The healthcare system's comprehensiveness means budget living becomes more predictable. Preventive care, regular checkups, and minor medical issues are covered completely. Reducing long-term health costs, Germans prioritize preventive health care, creating cultural support for maintaining health rather than treating illness. Emergency health care operates efficiently and professionally regardless of insurance status. Though costs for uninsured individuals can be substantial, the system prioritizes treatment over payment, ensuring that medical emergencies don't become life-threatening due to financial concerns. Education opportunities in Germany offer exceptional value for career development and cultural integration. German universities charge minimal fees even for international students, often to €100 to €300 per semester plus living costs. This creates opportunities for budget living while gaining qualifications that improve long-term earning potential. Language education receives substantial public support, with integration courses available for minimal costs to legal residents. These courses provide both language skills and cultural knowledge essential for successful budget living. Understanding German bureaucracy, housing systems, and employment opportunities become significantly easier with improved language skills. The concept of Ausbildung vocational training offers pathways for practical skills development. While earning income, Germany's dual education system combines classroom learning with paid work experience, providing career development opportunities that support rather than drain budget living. Adult education and continuing education programs receive public funding, making skill development accessible, regardless of financial situation. This creates opportunities for budget residents to improve qualifications and earning potential, while maintaining minimal living costs. Libraries and public educational resources in Germany provide extensive free access to information, internet, and learning materials. German libraries operate as community centers providing much more than books, internet access, study spaces, cultural programs, and social activities that support budget lifestyles while enabling personal development. The social support system provides safety nets for legal residents facing financial difficulties, including housing assistance, job training programs, and emergency financial support. These systems aren't designed for long-term dependence, but provide crucial support during transition periods or unexpected difficulties. Understanding German approaches to safety, healthcare, and education reveals a society designed to support individual development while maintaining collective security. These systems enable budget living by reducing financial risks and providing pathways for improvement. The bureaucratic requirements for accessing these systems initially seem overwhelming, but create long-term stability and predictability that support sustainable budget living. Once properly integrated into German systems, residents gain access to some of the world's best public services regardless of economic status. Navigating German visa requirements and work authorization determines whether budget living becomes sustainable long-term opportunity or temporary survival exercise. Germany's 2024 immigration reforms created new pathways for skilled workers, but understanding these options requires patience with bureaucratic complexity that can break even. Determined souls. The new Opportunity Card Chancen Card introduced in June 2020 revolutionizes job seeking for non-EU citizens. This visa allows skilled workers to enter Germany for up to 1 year's specifically defined employment, requiring €1,027 monthly financial proof but providing legitimate pathway to permanent work. Authorization. For budget living, this represents significant upfront costs but creates opportunities for legal employment and eventual financial stability. Student visas offer the most accessible pathway for extended German residents, while maintaining budget living possibilities. German universities charge minimal fees, student insurance costs around €110 monthly, and students can work limited hours legally. The student pathway provides time to learn German, understand local systems, and build networks that support transition to permanent employment. The skilled worker visa requires job offers before arrival, making it challenging for budget living initially, but providing immediate work authorization and path to permanent residence. Germany actively recruits skilled workers in healthcare, IT, engineering, and trades, often providing relocation assistance that can support initial budget living requirements. Freelance visas offer opportunities for people with marketable skills, requiring proof of financial sustainability and business planning. For digital nomads or consultants, this pathway enables legal residence while maintaining international income sources. However, German tax obligations apply to all income earned while residing in Germany. The bureaucratic reality of German visa processes requires patience, documentation, and often multiple appointments at various agencies. The Anmeldung residence registration must be completed within 2 weeks of arrival and serves as foundation for all other bureaucratic processes. Without this registration, you cannot open bank accounts, get insurance, or access many services. Work culture in Germany emphasizes punctuality, reliability, and clear communication over elaborate social interaction. This cultural directness can benefit budget-conscious workers by eliminating expensive social obligations while providing clear performance expectations. German employers generally respect work-life balance, providing stable schedules that support budget planning. Language requirements vary by visa type and employment sector, but German language skills significantly improve both job opportunities and daily life affordability. Integration courses provide subsidized German language training for legal residents, representing excellent investment in long-term success. The social integration expectation in Germany goes beyond language to include understanding cultural norms, legal requirements, and civic participation. This integration process takes time, but provides access to social networks, employment opportunities, and community resources that support sustainable living. Expat communities in German cities provide valuable support networks for practical needs like housing leads, job opportunities, and navigating bureaucracy. However, over-reliance on expat communities can limit German language development and cultural integration, essential for long-term success. Regional differences in expat experiences affect both opportunities and costs. Berlin attracts international talent but remains competitive and expensive. Smaller cities often provide better opportunities for meaningful work and cultural integration, while maintaining lower living costs. The taxation system requires understanding for anyone earning income in Germany, with tax rates varying based on income levels and family situation. However, The German tax system also provides deductions for work-related expenses, professional development, and integration costs that can improve effective income, permanent residence, and citizens. HIP pathways require sustained legal residence, German language proficiency, and integration into German society. These long-term goals provide motivation for enduring initial budget constraints while building sustainable life in Germany. The key insight for successful expat life in Germany is viewing initial budget constraints as investment in accessing one of Europe's most stable and prosperous societies. Understanding visa requirements, work culture, and integration expectations enables strategic planning that transforms budget survival into sustainable success. So here's the truth about surviving on $600 a month in Germany. It is technically possible, incredibly challenging, and definitely not what you call comfortable living. But if you're willing to embrace German efficiency, master their cultural quirks, and treat bureaucracy like a puzzle rather than punishment, this budget can become your gateway to one of Europe's most fascinating societies. The real revelation isn't whether $600 covers your expenses. It is how this constraint forces you to live like actual Germans rather than tourists. You learn to shop at Aldi instead of expensive supermarkets, to appreciate Sunday quiet laws instead of fighting them, and to build genuine social connections instead of buying entertainment. These adaptations don't just save money. They provide authentic cultural immersion that money can't purchase. The geographic arbitrage strategy works brilliantly if you're flexible about location. While Munich and Frankfurt remain impossibly expensive, cities like Leipzig, Dresden, or Erfurt offer genuine German experiences at sustainable costs. The Deutschland ticket makes this strategy viable by providing unlimited regional transportation, essentially expanding your housing options across entire regions. But let's be honest about what this budget means. Shared housing, home cooking, limited entertainment spending, and constant financial awareness. You're not living in poverty, but you're definitely living deliberately. Every expense gets evaluated, every opportunity gets considered, and every Deutsche Euro gets stretched to maximum potential. The bureaucratic maze that initially seems impossible becomes manageable. Once you understand the system rewards preparation and punishes improvisation. Germans have created complex systems that work incredibly well for people who follow the rules, provide proper documentation, and respect established processes. Fighting the system costs money, understanding it saves money. The social integration aspect surprises most people. German directness eliminates expensive social games. Their efficiency culture supports budget discipline, and their community orientation provides support networks that help stretch limited resources. Once you crack German social codes, you gain access to a society designed around quality over quantity. The healthcare, education, and safety benefits justify the bureaucratic complexity and budget constraints. Where else can you access world-class healthcare for 110 euros monthly, attend university for 200 euros per semester, and walk safely anywhere at any time? These benefits represent value that extends far beyond monthly budget calculations. If you're considering this challenge, my advice is simple. Treat $600 as your starting budget, not your permanent situation. Use Germany's systems to learn German, gain qualifications, build networks, and develop opportunities that improve your financial position over time. Many successful German residents started with minimal budgets and built prosperous lives through patience, adaptation, and strategic planning. Germany rewards people who invest in understanding their systems, respecting their culture, and contributing to their communities. That $600 monthly budget might feel restrictive initially, but it can become your entry fee into one of the world's most stable, prosperous, and well-organized societies. The question isn't whether you can survive on $600 in Germany. It asks whether you're willing to embrace a completely different approach to living that prioritizes efficiency, community, and long-term thinking over immediate comfort. For the right person with the right mindset, that budget becomes not just survival money, but investment capital in a better future. Remember, every successful expat story started with someone taking that first complicated, bureaucratic, slightly terrifying step into German life.